Hello everybody and welcome to Story Time. I'm Miss Melissa and I'm so glad you could tune in for this week's Toddler Time. Are you ready to get started? We are going to start with our welcome song. You ready? Here we come now to story time, to story time, to story time. Here we come now to story time so early in the morning. And this is the way we clap our hands, clap our hands, clap our hands. This is the way we clap our hands so early in the morning. And this is the way we stomp our feet, stomp our feet, stomp our feet. This is the way we stomp our feet so early in the morning. And this is the way we wave hello, wave hello, wave hello. This is the way we wave hello so early in the morning. All right, so now it is time for our first story for today. And today's first story is called Apple Farmer Annie. And this story is by Monica Wellington. Ready? Annie is an apple farmer. She has a big orchard of apple trees. In the fall, she picks baskets and baskets of round, ripe apples. She grows many kinds of apples. She sorts and organizes them. Let's see, what type of apples do you see here? We have red apples, and next there's some yellow apples, and next to those there's green apples. Annie uses some of the apples to make sweet apple cider. She uses others to bake delicious smooth applesauce. She loves baking muffins, cakes, and pies with her apples. But she saves the most beautiful ones of all to sell fresh at the market. She loads everything into her truck and drives into the city. Annie the apple farmer sets up her stand in the farmer's market. Lots of customers come to Annie's stand. She is busy all day long. By the end of the day, she has sold everything. She packs up and goes home. Annie is tired but happy. It feels so good to have her own apple farm. The end. All right, so next for today, we have a rhyme up on our board. So here's our board, and we have some apples on our board. What color apples do we have? Let's see, they are red apples. And can you help me count how many apples we have? Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 apples. And here we have Mr. Slinky Worm. And do you know what our worm likes to eat? He likes to eat apples. Are you ready for our rhyme? 5 red apples hanging in the tree, teasing Mr. Slinky Worm, you can't eat me. Along comes Mr. Slinky Worm, as quiet as can be, and he chomps that apple right out of the tree. So how many apples do we have left? Let's see, there's just 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 apples left. 4 red apples hanging in the tree, teasing Mr. Slinky Worm, you can't eat me. Along comes Mr. Slinky Worm, as quiet as can be, and he chomps that apple right out of the tree. So now we just have 1, 2, 3. 3 red apples. 3 red apples hanging in the tree, teasing Mr. Slinky Worm, you can't eat me. Along comes Mr. Slinky Worm, as quiet as can be, and he chomps that apple right out of the tree. So how many apples do we have left? We just have 2 red apples. 2 red apples hanging in the tree, teasing Mr. Slinky Worm, you can't eat me. Along comes Mr. Slinky Worm, as quiet as can be, and he chunks that apple right out of the tree. So now there's just one red apple left. One red apple hanging in the tree, teasing Mr. Slinky Worm, "You can't eat me." Along comes Mr. Slinky Worm, as quiet as can be, and he chomps that apple right out of the tree. So now, how many apples are left? There's 0. Mr. Slinky Worm ate all of them. All right, so next it is time for our second story for today. And today's second story is called Squirrel's Fall Search. And this story is by Anita Laundrie. Squirrel and his little brother were busy collecting pine cones, berries, and nuts. Fall had arrived and food was everywhere. Juicy blackberries speckled the thorny brams. Corn was being harvested in the cornfield. Squirrel's little brother picked up one of Squirrel's nuts. "I bet you can't catch me," he laughed, and then he ran away. They chased each other around in circles. Colorful leaves swirled all around and made Squirrel dizzy. Squirrel chased his little brother into the woods, but soon he realized he could not see his little brother or his food anywhere. Squirrel hoped his little brother wasn't taking any more of his nuts. Mouse scampered out of the leaves carrying a sycamore seed. Squirrel started to feel hungry. Squirrel had enjoyed chasing his brother so much that he had forgotten where he had put his food. "Have you seen my food?" Squirrel asked Mouse. "Have you looked in the meadow?" asked Mouse. Squirrel searched the long grass in the meadow. He tutted and scratched his head. "I'm sure my food was around here somewhere," he said. Rabbit poked his head out of his warren to see what was going on. "Have you seen my food anywhere?" asked Squirrel. "Have you looked over by the pond?" suggested Rabbit. Squirrel searched through the reeds by the pond. Leaves were floating on the surface of the water. Squirrel sniffed the air and tutted. "I'm sure I buried my food around here somewhere," he said. Owl was watching Squirrel from above. "Isn't that your little brother over there by the old apple tree?" she asked. "It looks like he's got some tasty food to eat," said Owl. Squirrel ran as fast as he could to the apple tree. Squirrel's little brother was so surprised that he dropped the nut he was holding. "I'm sorry," he said. "I was just so hungry." "Did you know," said Squirrel, "that food tastes even better when you share it?" They smiled at each other and ate their tasty food together. The end. All right, so next for today, we have another little rhyme up on our board. And this rhyme, instead of apples, we have pumpkins. So you put our pumpkins on our board. Can you help me count? Let's see, there's 1 pumpkin, there's 2, and there's 3 pumpkins, and 4, and 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 big orange pumpkins up on our board. 5 giant pumpkins sitting on the floor. 1 pumpkin became, what did it become? Ooh, pumpkin pie. And then there were just 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pumpkins left. 4 giant pumpkins, orange as they can be. 1 became a jack-o'-lantern. And then there was just 1, 2, 3. 3 pumpkins. 3 giant pumpkins, enormous, it's true. 1 became a carriage for Cinderella. And then there was just 1, 2. 2 pumpkins left. 2 giant pumpkins underneath the sun. 1 got first prize. And then there was just 1 giant pumpkin left. 1 giant pumpkin sitting all alone. I picked it up and carried it home. And now there are 0 giant pumpkins. They all got turned into something. The end. All right, so now it is time for our last story for today. And today's last story is called The Plumbly Dumply Pumpkin. And this story is by Mary Serfanzo. Peter's looking for a pumpkin, a perfect plumply dumpling pumpkin. Not a lumpy bumpy pumpkin, not a stumpy grumpy pumpkin, but a sunny stumptious pumpkin. Finally, on a twining vine, he spies a pumpkin, fat and fine. Not too fat, though not at all. Not too short and not too tall. Not some squat lopsided pumpkin, but a glossy lot of pumpkin. Why does Peter want a pumpkin? Want a showy glowy pumpkin? Pumpkin pickles? Pumpkin pie? Do you think that's what he's going to do with the pumpkin? Pumpkin pudding? Pumpkin fry? Pumpkin salad? Pumpkin stew? What is Peter going to do? What could he be doing with that pumpkin? With his pumpkin home at last, Peter starts working fast. He draws some eyes and draws a chin, then draws a plumply dumply grin. It's starting to take shape. What do you think it is? Helps his dad carve into place a simply dimply dumply face. Lights a light behind the grin to start it glowing from within. Later wins the most applause, and really no surprise, because perfect pumpkins really do make perfect jack-o'-lanterns too. He made it into a jack-o'-lantern. The end. All right, so that was our last story for today. So now we just have our goodbye song. Are you ready? Our hands say thank you with a clap, clap, clap. Our feet say thank you with a tap, tap, tap. Clap, clap, clap. Tap, tap, tap. We roll our hands around and wave goodbye. Bye, everybody. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.